The relationship is over. You know it was destroying you, but now you can't stop thinking about her. One moment you feel totally relieved, and the next you're replaying everything in your mind, wondering if you made the biggest mistake in your life. One minute you think, I had to walk away, and the next you're questioning whether you should have tried harder. Now, you probably feel guilty, confused, and completely off balance. And if that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I'm Lise Leblanc, therapist, author, and life coach, and I work with men who are trauma bonded. And today I want to talk about 7 reasons why ending a relationship with a woman with borderline personality disorder, or at least strong borderline traits, feels so impossible. And stick with me till the end because I'll give you a simple reality check. It's a question that you can use the next time you're tempted to reach out. Number 1, you got addicted to the highs and lows. When you're in a relationship where someone pulls you close, like so close, closer than you've ever felt with anyone ever before, and then just as you think you've died and gone to heaven, she pushes you away and your whole nervous system collapses. One day she's crying in your arms, telling you you're the only one who's ever truly understood her, the only man she's ever trusted. And the next day she's threatening to leave, blocking you, or saying she can't do this anymore. In that crash, you feel sick, panicked, desperate. You can't eat, you can't focus, you can't sleep. Your whole nervous system is screaming, fix this, get her back. And when you finally do reconnect, when she unblocks you or shows up at your door in tears, the relief you feel is massive. Your chest loosens, your stomach settles, your brain floods with, thank God, we're okay. That relief is so intense that your nervous system learns a dangerous lesson that only she can take away your pain. It's not any woman. She's the only person who can give you that specific high after that specific low. And most people don't understand this. They think they're just missing the woman. But what you're actually missing is the emotional rush, the adrenaline, and the relief only she can give you. And it's exactly why leaving feels impossible. Walking away doesn't just mean losing her, it means choosing to sit with the crash and not reaching for the only person your body believes can make you feel better. Number 2, you became her rescuer, the one who stayed steady, who soothed all the chaos and kept her from falling apart. You weren't just her boyfriend or husband, you became her emotional first responder, her favorite person, the one she ran to every time she was emotionally spiraling, the one responsible for fixing everything. And for a while, it made you feel incredibly important. It gave you a sense of purpose. It made you feel heroic. So when the relationship ends, you're not just losing her, you're losing an identity, one that made you feel needed, important, indispensable. And now you don't know who you are without all those heavy responsibilities, that sense of purpose, of importance. So even though it's crushing you, walking away brings a great sense of failure. You failed your mission. It's like you lost your sense of identity and your sense of worth. Number 3, the relationship fits your old blueprint for love. So if you grew up with a parent, often a mother who was unstable, overwhelmed, or emotionally needy, the kind of parent who cried to you, vented to you, and used you as an emotional crutch or surrogate partner, then you were parentified. And you were taught to listen to stories that you were too young to hear, to soothe her anxieties, her loneliness, to be the emotional adult in the room. And that becomes your template for love and connection. You learn that love means responsibility. Love means being the one who holds everything together. It means suppressing your needs and your emotions because the other person can't handle it. So when you meet a woman later in life who's intense, reactive, or emotionally fragile, it doesn't feel toxic. It feels familiar. Your nervous system recognizes this role and it feels like home, even if it ends up hurting you. And then walking away doesn't just feel like ending that relationship, It feels like you're breaking your own internal rule, the rule that you have to carry other people's emotional pain without complaining in order to be loved. Number four, you bonded through mirroring and idealization, not through real compatibility. At the start, she mirrored you perfectly. She liked the same music, shows, books, and shared all the same interests, values, and had the same vision for the future. She didn't feel like a new person. She felt like someone you'd known your whole life, like the missing piece of you. And that's idealization, it's mirroring. She put you on a pedestal, called you her soulmate, her safe place, her healer. And when you've never had goodness reflected back like that, it's almost impossible not to inhale it and get intoxicated by it. The problem is the bond isn't built on who you both really are. It's built on a best self version of you, the parts she adored, and your flaws, your needs, your limits are all edited out in the beginning. So, a woman with strong BPD traits temporarily will magnify the good in you and erase your negative traits. Then, when she flips, she does the exact opposite, magnifying your worst moments and erasing everything good about you. She can't hold both truths about you at the same time. And living inside that distortion splits you into two, the hero and the villain. So when the idealization turns to devaluation, it's a brutal fall off the pedestal. And the rest of the relationship becomes a long scramble to try to get back to the top, to get that reflection back, to make you feel like that good, grounded, powerful man again. And that's the trap because she ends up holding your best self hostage. Your goodness, your strength, your capacity to love all feel tied to how she sees you in any given moment. Number five, your brain never lands on a solid verdict. So, in a normal breakup, you eventually land on a coherent story about what happened. Good parts, bad parts, overall wasn't a right fit. But in a trauma bonded relationship, your mind goes haywire. It keeps flipping between the highlight reel and the horror reel. She was the most loving, vulnerable, intense connection you've ever had, to she was dangerous, chaotic, and destroying you. Because you never hold both truths at once, you never get a solid internal story, a verdict. And without it, you're always in doubt. When you're in the highlight reel, you doubt your memories of the bad times. Was I too harsh? Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I overreacted. And when you're in the horror reel, you doubt your love. You doubt the good times. How could I still want someone who did this to me? What is wrong with me? So instead of resolving the situation and the relationship, your brain cycles between regret and self disgust. That emotional whiplash can pull you back to her because going back feels easier than sitting with that confusion and letting yourself see the full truth all at once. Number six, guilt keeps pulling you back. For so many men, guilt is actually the strongest hook. So even though she said the cruelest things, crossed every line, or even ended the relationship herself, somehow you are still cast as the bad guy, the one who abandoned her. She tells you that you gave up on her, that you never really loved her, that you walked away when she needed you most. And because you've spent your whole relationship carrying her emotions, making promises, a part of you still believes this. So every time you start to feel a bit stronger, you also feel selfish, like you feel like you need another chance to prove that you're not the bad guy. And that's how guilt keeps you hooked. It stops being a signal from your conscience and becomes a leash she can tug on anytime you get close to breaking free. Number seven, leaving forces you to face your own pain. And this is one of the hardest parts. When you're in a chaotic relationship, your mind is always occupied, trying to fix things, predict things, calm things. There is no space to really feel your own feelings, your loneliness, your insecurity, any old wounds, fears, unmet needs. So when you leave, everything you've been avoiding rises to the surface. And going back can seem easier than sitting with these difficult emotions. But this is actually where your healing begins. And over time, the feeling of emptiness turns into peace and clarity. So, as promised, the next time you feel that pull to reach out, pause and ask yourself, if nothing changes, And it won't. Could I honestly spend the rest of my life in this toxic cycle? If the answer is no, then remind yourself that this is not some once in a lifetime love calling you back. It's a trauma bond, addiction, and it's costing you your sanity. If you need help breaking the trauma bond, reach out to a therapist or consider my toxic relationship recovery program that I link below. It will walk you through this process step by step. To learn more about why you can't stop thinking about her after you've left the relationship, click on the link above.